Cheers. Blue. Tell me.
Welcome back to my channel, motherfuckers. We have a bit of a non-documented vlog for you guys. I'm gonna do an audit on my own company.
It's the same shit. The rack, a pocket full of nuts, the pills, the blow, the yak, the top, the drop, the swerve, the pass, the props, the safe, the stage, the pad, the lock, the man, the myth, the
Welcome
legend.
back to my YouTube page. This video is going to be like super raw. It's a bit of a just kind of documented series where I'm going to show you guys more so like a window into my life. I'm not trying to really educate you or share anything like in specific. More, I'm going to do an audit on my own company. For example, like what I need to send to my team. So team reports, where I'm at on content, what's happening, what's not happening, how I check everything and how I analyze data, down to, you know, my CRM, what's happening with my leads and inside of my pipeline. Every single thing that I need to do on a weekly basis just to maintain understanding that I am moving smoothly, growing, and maintaining obviously what I need to do to conduct the business that, you know, I do online. And that's obviously, you know, specific to me. I'm a private consultant on social media and for other entrepreneurs on social media, and I'm building my own venture capital company at the same time. So this is everything that I personally do in an audit day, and I want to share the entire process with you guys while I'm still at the workspace and I'm still kind of just looking into things. So first things first, I'm just going to get my laptop and all of that kind of ready, and I'm going to probably just take a look at data of different social platforms first. So we're going to do the, you know, split between my main platforms, YouTube and Instagram, and I'm going to kind of just start there with a Notion document, fresh Notion document, where we're going to basically outline our intention and our motivations behind doing this audit, basically down to also understanding, you know, what I'm looking for, basically everything that I need to look at this data through the lens of, to understand, and then to be able to basically take that later and use it for my own, you know, growth. So I'm obviously going to just kind of start with Instagram. I think it's probably best that I start with Instagram, and I'm going to basically take you guys through this process as raw as possible. I'm going to move the camera around. I'm going to show you guys what I see and what I start with. And first things first is literally just me opening up that Notion document, and I'm going to obviously start there. So starting this off, I'm going to be pulling analytics off of Meta Business Suite for my Instagram data. I'm going to basically just go into my Meta. I'm going to go into insights, and we're just going to view all insights because there's multiple accounts connected to this. And I'm going to basically just go over to content, and I'm going to export data, recent data. I've actually done a couple, you know, different looks into my own platform recently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through April 15th to today. Well, till literal present day. That should be good. I'm going to update that, and then I'm just going to export that data. And while that's exporting, then I'm going to go into Claude and start basically just getting Claude ready to take this data and my YouTube data as well. I'll basically go export that now as well in the same time. And I'm going to take all of that, feed it into Claude, basically get an HTML where I can visualize absolutely everything. I'm going to understand that for myself, and then I'm going to take what I understand into the Notion document that I have just created, the fresh Notion document, where I can basically start outlining my audit and basically start going through everything, data, you know, current leads, you know, what's happening on content, everything to understand deeper where I'm at, you know, this week in my own company online. So once again, that is going to be exported. I'm just going to make sure that I click Instagram. We're going to click accounts, and this is going to be data for posts. We can do stories as well separately. I'm going to do posts first. That should say export is processing. So while that is processing, I'm going to open up my YouTube channel. Basically, I'll just tap here. Basically, just open up my personal page on YouTube, and that's where I'm going to pretty much just like seek data from. I'm actually going to open this in a separate browser because I've got that account on a separate browser. You go straight to it. You can actually just go jump in here. It should be straight in my Creator Studio. Great. Now I can see what's going on content on Candid Camera pretty much. This is where my main channel kind of lies. And all my channel content, I'm going to basically just like soak up all the data, extract what I can, and then we're going to throw that into that Claude kind of visualization that I'm about to build on, you know, an HTML link. So what I'm going to do here is quite literally just start screenshotting absolutely everything I need to. So literally from like, you know, every single point of data that I can see, I'm going to start collecting. And you want to obviously just make sure you've got the, you know, most advanced views open so that you can see very literally everything. And then you can also download, because then you can export current view in the, you know, advanced mode. So what I'm going to do now is content in the last 28 days. I want to basically just grab that and we're going to look through content. I want to basically search through a custom lens and we're going to get all the things that matter to me through these posts. So I want to see views, I want to see watch time, subs, I want to see average view duration. That's obviously important. We're going to see retentions in each single video. I want to see new viewers, sorry, and I want to see casual viewers. From there, unique viewers, let me just click that on. Videos added. Great. So I'm going to apply that. I'm going to get a bit of a filter going into my channel, not just that piece of content, and there we go. Now I've got a great view of a whole bunch of data that's been going on from my YouTube, and I can just either get that in a Google Sheets or as a CSV. For Claude's sake, we're going to get that in CSV and just make sure that the zip file is opened, and then I can take all of this into a nice little visual that Claude's going to give me. And I'm just going to obviously wait for the export on Meta Business Suite to just, you know, finish up there, and then I can start getting it into Notion. But in the meantime, I can start building out this Notion and just showing you guys, you know, how I approach these audits. So as you guys can see here, simple. Like a lot of people overcomplicate, you know, audits and looking at their own brand, and it's, you know, relying on AI way too much. I do this shit myself through my own lens because that's the lens at the end of the day that matters. So again, May 5th full audit, that's what I've got here. I've got my simple goal is understand more about where I am, what's happening, to outsmart that data and use that data. This is my literal motto for life: understand to outsmart. And things we're going to look into: content data, CRM data, recent Notion documentation, because I do meetings, host it there. I do personal and private documentation, keep it there. Client data, keep it there. All my other audits are there. So that's obviously exceptionally important for, you know, my personal audit, just to look at recent data and then obviously where I am right now. And just, I can obviously see quite simply where I am and if I'm growing or not. And then also just team feedback. You know, I've got a team of 8 individuals that work for me. So I need to obviously just kind of check in with each and every one of them. And one of them is actually going to pull up to the workspace later and chat to me in person. And we're going to get some of their feedback on, you know, what's happening in, for example, appointment setting, closing, with softwares that they use. Do they need anything? Are they struggling with anything? Can I help them? And basically that's the lens that we go into this audit with. A lot simpler than I think a lot of people realize. So first things first, obviously you guys know that we're waiting for content data. So first things first, I'm going to basically just wait until this gets sorted, and then I'm going to basically just get started on that content audit. So while that's exporting, I'm gonna go order myself a coffee, a cappuccino, and I'm going to just leave this here and then come back to that. When it's exported, that's going into Claude for the visualization, and then we're gonna take the next steps. And yeah, this is gonna be a new type of content piece on my page. I just want to let you guys know where I invite you guys into my daily lifestyle. It's not about like sharing anything in specific. It's more so about just sharing authentically and operationally transparently, and giving you guys a window into who I am, how I work, how I do things on a day-to-day basis. Also just lets you tap into a 23-year-old who is building a venture capital firm and is a private consultant at the same time for entrepreneurs. So unique window, and everything is kind of just going to be shown to you guys while I do my own shit. I'm just keep the camera rolling. But until then, let me just go get this damn coffee. Bro, I'm literally so full of shit. I saw a local like jewelry shop, and I just copped a pair of sunglasses because they look good on me, and I like the style. You can't take me anywhere without buying anything. It's absurd. Anyways, back to this audit. I am currently just still waiting for this data to complete, and then we should be about ready to begin this entire process. Okay, so data is officially finished downloading. It says completed over here. So just gonna make sure that is downloaded to my actual desktop, and then I'm gonna open Claude, our good old best friend. Listen, I don't rely on Claude to see things that I don't, and I don't rely on Claude to take over my thinking, my perception, and the things that I can do. But for stupid, silly little tasks like building an entire visualization HTML, like with graphs and shit, to incorporate my data, that I can leave up to Claude. That's something I think a lot of people get wrong. Like, it's not to take control of you. I mean, in a few years, trust me, all these agentic tools, once people realize how deep permissions go, they're going to realize you're just handing over your digital identity. So best keep that to yourself and keep the reasons you're unique to yourself. So I'm going to basically just start up with, what I want this to do. And we're going to actually just basically copy all of that. And I'm going to throw it into here. So we are I'm just going to start the convo over. So it's just going to slowly understand what it needs to. And I'm going to say, we are going to, what does it need? Content lever on 3 prioritize. You can just forget about that. This is all on me. We're going to start with content and data of collected, posting recently on IG and YouTube. I need to visualize this in an HTML, and then I'm going to basically just throw in my necessary documentation, data, all of this. So it's going to get that, and it's going to get it's going to get everything pretty much. I think I can only open one by one here. That's cool. So it's got the CSV over there. Now I just need to make sure it's got the chart data, table data, totals, all of those CSVs. Okay, now you guys can see. I'll try and zoom. I'll just make it full screen so you guys can see. But Now you guys can see I've got everything like lined up here, and I'm gonna start with content. It understands that we're basically gonna do an audit. It understands, the couple things that I'm personally looking at, and you can see how little I need to give it to be able to actually like complete what I need to do here. Like I'm not relying on AI. I'm rather using it to just better my own doing. So I'm gonna just pop that in there, and we're gonna obviously just wait for it to start building. Also, just keep note, you guys can see in the bottom there, I am using Opus 4.7 on Pro version or Max, whatever you want to call it. I do need to obviously have the capability to achieve these tasks at the highest level as well. You don't want to be just using Sonnet for these kind of moments. So that's gonna kind of just do its thing, and I can sit back for at least a moment while it visualizes this, and then I can take a look at that visualization. Pretty much while I get AI to do things, I'm chilling, like having coffee, relaxing. My day-to-day work process is actually a dream. Like, I've gotten it to a fine point of which I actually enjoy waking up every single day and enjoy doing even these things, and sometimes even doing like the admin stuff or, the hard work. Often this is the stuff that I love doing the most, because I've actually come to a point where I understand what I do, I love what I do, and again, in these moments in between, I can just like rest, I can have coffee, I'm literally living my dream life, and that's, again, I think why I'm so grateful to be, in this position right now. So this is currently building out editorial audit dashboards and all the HTML that I needed to, while I am taking a moment to myself and having coffee. Okay, insane. So everything, as you guys can see, is done on Claude's end. Now it's up to me. And I've got an entire content audit that just opens up in my desktop. It's a little HTML, and I've got this to go through basically and just make sure I fully understand, see what's happening, what's not happening, and everything in between. So I'm gonna get started. So for this part, it's probably best that I actually just be decent about this, and I just start up a little OBS screen recording simultaneously to me, speaking and talking to you guys. I think I can just make sure that you guys have the best possible view of everything. So obviously we've got the content audit open here, and this is everything from my Instagram and obviously YouTube that I pulled like right now, and it's 21 or in between 25 and 21 days. I know that obviously because I just literally selected that, but it's everything I need to know based off like what I've posted, what I've put out there, what's working, what's not working, and everything in between. So in 21 days I published 103 Instagram posts, my bad, and around 20 YouTube videos. Very high volume, very high quality across every single video. That's kind of just my main thing. However, on Instagram recently quality dropped because I tried one thing on trial reels, which increased amount of videos and probably decreased reach and views acquired for those videos, but that's okay. Sometimes we gotta test things ourselves organically, and sometimes we gotta make sure that we actually spend time doing the hard work. So IG posts, I put out 103 posts over the past 21 days. That's 96 reels and 7 carousels for me specifically. IG, I reached 26.7 thousand new pages across the 15 publishing days that this obviously has analyzed. I got an extra 22 followers. I was not really focusing content this month on retaining followers. Going forward now in this new week, a lot of the content has changed and gone back to how I was, which is obviously follow retention. And I'm seeing all of this through the data, which is all of this makes sense. pretty shortly I'll increase my follow rate from 2.03 to 3.0 very quickly, and then I'll keep going from there. So not stressed about that, and it does make sense. YouTube, got my little views from a couple different videos. That'll actually be more literally now. Like I've got a video that is consistently getting views like as we speak that I've just put out. And we've got an extra 13 subs in the past 21 days, which can be more, but again, this is a fresh YouTube channel and it is going pretty well if you ask me either way. So total followers gained, which is new leads, is 35 new leads in the past 21 days, and those are all like actual prospects. That's the difference with how I do things. The people that stay are actually people that this matter to, and I speak again very niche about business, psychology, about reality, life, finance, and so much in between. Like I'm out here only for the entrepreneurs, so the ones that stay, again, I at least know are of unique value to me. When I posted, what came back? So this is a whole bunch of posting days, and basically I can see that over here in the beginning I was posting more to get more videos, and then basically I posted kind of less volume and everything follows. I've got a sweet spot of volume when I work within quality. I don't have to post basically too much to acquire like a lot of views every month. I don't have to post a high volume to like collect 300k. I can only post like 80, and I'll still collect well over 300k. And if they're high quality videos, I could post theoretically one a week, you know what I mean? So this is also, like I said, I've been testing lately. This is a lot of testing, but the best posts, kind of 29 posts early in the month, got a nice 10k, and I took data from that and I put it into content like within the past 20 days, and I've kind of just been amalgamating my new strategy. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you're going to start seeing that slowly roll out. I've changed Instagram to a moving, rolling magazine. Carousels become way more beautifully designed. Reels, way less of them come out from me, 1 per week, 4 per month. I post more on YouTube for that sake. So if you want my actual content strategy, we can deepen that. But all of this, obviously, the daily IG output versus reach. Some days, a high output can reach a high audience. Some days, less output can still reach a decent audience. But the problem is, obviously, a lot of individuals don't take that data, what does well on what days. And sometimes people also see the volume and think, okay, there's great videos in here. Sometimes the volume collected the reach and not the videos itself. So it's been more understanding each video, what works and what doesn't. And I do have access to all of that data as well, so it's very helpful. And then we've got over here reading the curve, right? The 15th was the peak. As it says here, the 15th produced 14k views, 17 new followers from a single concentrated session. And I remember the video, it was like no talking, literally me in front of an entrepreneur from Nigeria who is building a platform, a software company. And I just said, I'm glad to be able to meet CEOs at 23. And that was it. Basically, from there, content started to like really shoot off into the 14k range. And that did pretty well. April 24th, 25th, 28th, and 29th, silent. There's always a couple days that are going to show you like, don't post then. I've actually shown through recent looking as well, and this confirms it for me, that Thursdays and Sundays are days that I can completely remove on my week of content, and I can focus more on fulfillment, my clients, and also just like working on the back end of my company. So I don't need to be overproducing, on days where I'm not getting, crazy reach. And, all these dates have been kind of shown to me, or have shown to me, to be the days to drop. And obviously, like you say here, or like it says here, this is picking up exactly what I have in my Notion from the last audit. Still, Saturdays are my highest reach days. Wednesdays are pretty good, and then the rest of the days remaining I still post. But pretty much Saturday becomes a metric because of this. Now I start tracking the posts that I get average every Saturday, and I see if I can better that, because that's kind of my highest reach day. So that's definitely one to remember. I've got the 2 formats on IG that it's broken down for me. It's seen 96 posts in Reels. Average views, I post a lot, as you guys know, 345, medium, 250. That's, you know, like some of them don't even get out there, but it's not about that. It's about who's spending time scrolling through my account, their assets. It's not about going viral every time. It's not how I work content. And then we've got the average engagement rate, 1.4. That can definitely rise. Follow rates is rising as well from 2.03 to 3.0 as we speak. And then we've got the carousel, which is one of the most powerful like marketing formats. Put it on social media right now. I love carousels. Again, I treat them like a magazine. You can see each carousel is like a flip through magazine, and it's a different issue, and it all comes together very neatly as well if you're actually like decent at design yourself. So my carousel 7 went out, and I'll be increasing this in the next month because it does collect. Average 825. You guys can see immediate increase. Median views also immediate increase, and the engagement rates, that's like a 7% increase. That's quite intense of a single format change. So basically this just shows, although it produced no followers, that went out to my existing individuals, and this can definitely be a great like converter or, you know, nurturing based type of content, or can be great for that kind of content. If I need to make sales, this is what I'm going to focus on, making well-designed carousel like magazine, like what do you call them, magazine issue posts to nurture and convert my audience. And then this is obviously where I collect the follows. This is where I collect the individuals to post these two, if that makes sense with you. Like if I didn't look at data, I wouldn't be able to say all of this value to you guys in real time. So carousels are hitting my audience, and I've been saying this for a while. I've been noticing they kill it. Since January, I've been kind of testing with carousels. Reels aren't reaching beyond it, and I do think it's because the Reel algorithm is changing as we speak. I follow Mosseri on Instagram, the head of Instagram creators, and he's just changed the algorithm to recognize originality over, you know, virality. So it's looking at content that is unique and never seen before, and helping those creators over, you know, your viral content. So that's why posting like I was posting, you know, to get viral, to get out there and to convert followers is not working so well anymore. And this is really good in my opinion, because this means I can focus more so on posting reels like I post carousels, and then also like I post YouTube videos, because my YouTube videos are a much more operationally transparent lens, and it's more like a non-documented documentary of what I do, who I am, who I'm not, and how I do things, and it converts very well. So, you know, this literally shows me that I can step into my own creativity for reels, and I can actually benefit from that, which is really, really cool. It's really, really cool. Reach against engagement. Each post just plotted on a nice little graph. We have this guy that did pretty well, obviously, on reach, and that shows that when I focus on my content and what's going out, I have to post a lot less to acquire a lot more. And you know, those rates basically stay stable if I also like continue the same very high, well-designed output in content. And then we've got over here, like the really, really crazy one over here is the, you know, very high engagement but like low reach. Not a crazy new reach to a new audience, but I did post something back here that had a very, very high engagement rate, and that's probably carousels with my page. So I can basically go in here and I can see right over there I was correct. Carousel. So a carousel, very, very high engagement. That's where I can really like get people to speak, get conversations started, and then it shows literally the reels are where, you know, I find individuals and I find, you know, people and followers are produced. So really that's the one mixed almost with some of the principles. We need to make a bridge between these two and have both of them posting in a way that can at least maximize the two formats, because that's what's working. Then got some asymmetry. Of the 103 posts, 5 of them drove half the value, and that's you know, 5 posts clearing 1,000 views, easy. 2 posts on April 15, and 3 carousels. Basically, all my posts this month or in the past month showed origin stories, things like that, and content that was biographical. It showed that was what's performing. People don't give a fuck about what you have to share value wise and information wise. They care about you and why they need it attached, or why they would listen to that value in the first place. So it's you first, origins first before information, and that's what's been showing recently. And 5 of them driving the value of 103 posts is a really just like a sure tell sign of what I need to be doing here. So focusing on that origin story and really just like deepening the quality within the data that is shown to me right now. Right. Then we've got what did the work. We've got, you know, some reels, and we've got some carousels that I can literally see right here that are exact like titles and whatnot, and exact reels and carousels that actually performed this month. So my shocking upbringing, like I knew this would perform. It was kind of in your face, sparked some conversation. I've got tales from my past, as you guys can see, origin. We've got this, which is personal life, origin. We've got top of funnel based content that's more so like just me and how I see the world, if I'm being honest with you. So that's also tying into the same. And you can see the content really that performs really well is about you. At the end of the day, it's not about value, it's about you. So if you want to share value, you need to be shared first. And that's where I think a lot of the quote unquote growth operators online are confusing a lot of people. So aside from that, we've got 20 videos, 2 carrying the channel, which is, I know, the entrepreneurs are scared video. And then it's saying, obviously, why entrepreneurs don't post. So what this means for me is I can see here 192 views. One, we've got the CTR, and we've got all of this saying, you know, exactly what I need to know. Basically, it's showing me topics, showing me themes that work. It's showing me, once again, entrepreneurs want to learn more, want to know more. They want to know more about content. It's a very great topic to speak about for me right now, since a lot of my consulting is focused on helping entrepreneurs on content and how they're perceived on content. So seeing this shows me, once again, that self is the thing that matters. It's personal stuff that matters. Again, both of these videos were spoken through from a very personal angle, and then are speaking about controversial topics. So those are 2 formats that I can really lean into in the next month and almost like spam, just to maintain the traffic that I am actually driving here. Then on YouTube, I've got all the actual data from published title, duration, the views. I've got the watch time, I've got CTR, I've got everything here, even subscribers gained. And once again, the why entrepreneurs are scared to post and the why most entrepreneurs don't post videos are the top performers. So that's something I can lean into through normal personal brand based content and content based content, also content about me on camera. It's showing that, again, entrepreneurs want to learn Instagram, but they want to learn Instagram from someone who's real, who is actually going to tell them the truth and be that person for them and be that person they can trust. So that's, again, what's showing through my content and what people are basically telling me through what they're watching of my content. And then we've got a couple extra things here. 3 things that the data is saying very loudly. Personal narrative is the only consistent winner. I know this very, very well and deeply, that the content that works right now is autobiographical, something that I don't think has ever been said on social media, or in 2026 at least. The output volume is decoupled from my returns. It's okay. I have been testing more things and I do understand what's happening, with content recently. So I've got a good look from just checking through this document once again. YouTube is definitely the conversion ecosystem, or engine, if you want to just say. It's definitely the conversion ecosystem, and that's where I hold my asset. It's converting 30 times more efficiently per surface impression, which is a lot better. I've got Saturdays, which are a big day for me. I can drop Sundays and Thursdays as well. So, save time focus on quality, which is incredible to hear as an entrepreneur. Focusing on content, save time, focus on quality, less posting, just making sure that we've got the right things being filmed, the right things being edited and going out. You're gonna be just fine. What this audit recommends in order: cut IG output, which is what I've done. Instead of posting daily, I sometimes posted 30 reels a day, sometimes between trial and to my followers. Now, maybe I'm going to give you my actual strategy. It's between 4 and 20 reels per month. And I basically just make sure that I take a lot more time with every single post, and I design every single post with intention. So less posting, up the quality, and it starts doing the job. Saturday becomes a big day. It becomes my hero day. If I want to post a massive YouTube video and actually make sales from that, it's a Saturday. If I want to make sure I get something to as many people as I can, it's a Saturday. One carousel can do the trick. Make sure it's autobiographical, and I will do the trick. Apart from that, YouTube cadence, like consistency, all I have to do is one long form every week, but I don't. I post at least 4 every week, and they're all maintaining a very high standard of first speaking through an crazy, my English is leaving the building. Speaking through an autobiographical lens, and then speaking about information on value after the autobiographical lens. And that's, again, what's showing me it needs to be done. And then the framework reel, I had a crazy month posting this mad high volume on this type of reel that basically was talking head, documented content and moments, highlight moments from my YouTube videos, and I post a whole lot of them. They get low views, a lot of them go out, and it's pointless. It kills your quality, it kills the way you're perceived. And it was a great test, but it showed me exactly what I needed to know. And I'm sure through watching this with me, it showed you exactly what you guys need to know. Start focusing on the quality, start focusing on your story, make everything autobiographical, and then show who you are, what you can do, what you've done, everything in between. So that's me taking a look at Instagram and YouTube data. And now I've got to get that into my Notion in my own, understood lens. I'm going to basically just write it all out, how I understand it, how I see things. And then from there, we're going to take it to the next step of this audit, I guess. So yeah, if you guys are watching this audit, obviously, and still watching this, I hope you guys have subscribed. Most of my viewers are non-followers and haven't subscribed yet. And it's the free thing that you guys can do to keep this channel growing. And I will do my best to not let you guys down while I grow my companies and while I share this content at the same time. So since that's finished, I'm gonna once again just take a little moment to myself, and then I'm gonna hop back into Notion. So now, of course, the next thing on that Notion document, as you guys know, is CRM data. Over the past month, I've actually been jumping from CRM to CRM, software to software, building softwares as well to find the best systems for my team, as well as for myself, inclusive of data tracking and all of that. So on Notion, I'll probably just plant a little screenshot on screen for you guys. Unassigned, I've got 2.3 or just above $2.3 million in leads. On ManyChat, I've got a whole bunch as well, different stages of outbound and inbound that are, coming and showing up in my inbox. And then I've just moved my team over to something called DM Tracker, which is connected to my ManyChat and basically has certain, APIs and automations set up so that every time someone sends me a DM, a fresh inbound DM, it's tracked and it all goes into one CRM for myself to see, to interact with, as well as all my team members have access to the same CRM and can have conversations in one platform, can communicate with my leads, move them from unassigned to in conversation to appointments being set and to conversions being made. So CRM data, I've got about 1,200 leads in total. And this again comes up to about $2 point something million in potential value. And we all know that we're not going to convert every single one of those. So let's just be real. We're going to look at that through a certain percentage, making a realistic justification that there is between $50,000 and $250,000 sitting on my account to convert without questions being asked. The rest is up to me. So CRM data is showing me strong value inside of my pipeline, but it is showing me that I've needed to track so long ago. I needed to track so much more than I am today. So now that Claude is finished inside of the last kind of visual that it created, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start transcribing something new, and basically we're going to look into the CRM data that I have and that it has access to, and then I'm also going to look into the kind of last point of this video, and that's, or last points of this video, and that's recent Notion documentation, which you can basically just go away, retrieve everything that I've done in the past 2 months, basically find everything that's valuable to this audit, and basically just throw that back at me so I can take a little bit of a gander and a look through and analyze that, just to see if I'm missing anything that is of value for this audit and going forward. So lastly, what I have to look through is the Notion documentation that I've created in my private space over the last 2 months. I need you to basically go do a deep scan of everything, just making sure that there's nothing I could possibly miss for a consistent kind of look at how my company is doing online, how content is doing, what's happening, what's not happening. We're doing a full audit, and I need you to basically just take the Notion space that you have access to and just make sure that we're not missing anything that I've pointed out over the past 2 months as well. I want you to also just take the past Notion audits that we've done in the past 2 months, and I need you to implement that data as well on top of the recent documentation that you are providing to me in a way that shows if I'm growing or not based off what we've found today in my IG and YouTube data. Then I would like to just maintain focus on my Notion leads list after that, so you can take a look at the $2 million in unassigned leads, which are obviously based off an average deal price. Apart from that, we've moved the new CRM for the team into DM Tracker, which is slowly bringing in inbound leads into the inbox. And there's only a couple chats that have obviously converted so long. So the $2.1 million in leads, which is 1,200 individuals, basically that I need to focus on getting my followers into my inbox so that they're popping up on DM Tracker, and then it's easy for my team to use from there inside of a single CRM. So this is more a case of me just telling you where all the leads are sitting and what's happening in the past, and the fact that now it just cut off. Either way, I'm just going to finish typing that, and we're going to see exactly what is happening. Right, so I've just pressed enter. Claude is going to do that. I'm just going to pop my laptop down, and I'm going to continue just talking to you guys. Again, now this is me looking at, I've seen content both on my Instagram and YouTube. I've looked at what has come through my old CRMs so that I'm not missing any old leads and any leads that have come through in the past year through my profile funnels. And I've got new softwares. That is obviously a part of this audit. So we need to move a lot of those individuals who have started conversations, and those conversations are available and I can see them on other platforms and they're not just there yet on DM Tracker. So a lot of these individuals are going to be needed to be hit up with a follow-up, and there's a lot that kind of needs to go on from the leads that I have existing inside of my, for example, my Notion CRM, which is a whole bunch of individuals. A lot has to happen to move conversations into my new inbox, which is on DM Tracker. And I can do a lot to basically do that in between content and automation. So that obviously is the last kind of little pieces that I need for this audit. And it's also going to go do a massive deep research for me upon the Notion documents that I've personally created and saved into my private space over the past 2 months. And again, that's my own personal workspace. Every single thing I do for myself and for my company is inside Notion and stored inside a private space in Notion. And it's connected to Claude, for example. When I use AI, I can just say, you're connected, you have access to everything you need to know about me and my company. So I'm just going to grab the laptop again. It's asking me some questions. How should the Notion scan go? I want you to basically look through everything in the last 60 days. It's saying for growth comparison, what's the comparison baseline here? I need you to do in the same window as the IG and YouTube audits. So 21 day in, like, that's the time frame. And then we've got output format, same editorial dashboard, something different. I'm gonna just say, just give me a nice confined dashboard that I can kind of go through with all of this. And then I should be good to go. I've got all the, missing pieces. I've got everything from my Notion documentation that I could have possibly even missed a couple really, really important and valuable things. So once again, this is how I just conduct my own audits. I'm looking at all necessary angles of where I can receive data from my audience and from the things that I produce to get a better understanding. And again, this is all through this single outline of understand to outsmart. Everything in my business and in my life is done through that lens. Understand to outsmart, because the more I understand, the more I have to be able to outsmart what I'm doing. So just grabbing Claude again so I can finish this off. Right, it says locked. We're pulling Notion now, and you guys once again can see all of this. This is all screen recorded, and some of it will be already popping up on screen so that you guys are following nicely with me. Right, it is still building out the HTML while I'm sitting and chatting to you guys. I think a lot of the YouTube content right now is really, really just lying to entrepreneurs about how to succeed in this space. Like, exactly what you're watching right now is exactly how you succeed in this space. It's effort, energy, and love and sacrifice, and it's going at your goals through a lens of taking responsibility and care for what you do and for the goals that you have, for the person that you want to become. Again, any audit that you will do for your company, when you act like that, is going to be far more powerful and far more beneficial. I can literally see here it's finding a whole bunch that I would have missed out. And that's again why I create a Notion space, and that's why I keep every single thing inside of a private space where I can just go through my documentation, never lose anything, and also connect that through APIs and connectors to the artificial intelligence or agentic tools that I do use when I use them. Again, I'm not that forward about AI use in your company, but for this kind of stuff, data analysis, visualizing what's going on, what's not happening, incredible. And this is stuff that I personally, would have taken fucking so long to create. For example, these visualizations of data, I can just do this in a split second. So it is definitely valuable, but again, grain of salt when you use these AIs. In between, while I'm waiting for my laptop behind me, I have to admit, this venue is a venue that I'm going to do a mastermind at in the next year. And you guys will all obviously have the invitations to that if you follow my Instagram and you just stay looped in on some of the stories that I post throughout the year. You'll hear all about that. But it's quite amazing to just sit in front of 50 chairs and just see the environment that I'm going to speak in very shortly, and it's definitely giving me some warm butterflies. Again, I'm living the life that I dreamed of. Once upon a time, I dreamed of being responsible for others' growth and to take care and a step into other people's growth journeys in their own lives, and to be a person that they rely on and know can help them through those spaces. And again, just like moments like this, seeing like a venue that I'm gonna have a bit of a speech at and do a presentation at, it shows me the size and the scale of the world and life I've designed, and it's so warming. Okay, so this is now synthesizing into one nice dashboard, which we're going to basically just take a look at together. And that's going to be kind of the last thing, a part of this audit that we go through today. And again, for all of you guys who have watched till here, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you don't subscribe already, please, it's the free thing that you can do to support this channel, and I will do everything in my power not to let you down with these uploads. And I don't think I have yet, so anyways, while it's building this, I just want to also just say, in the past week, I've opened up private consultations by the hour, which is something very interesting based off demand from you guys on my Instagram. You guys are basically asking for once-off sessions, and I decided to open up by the hour, so you can do that. So for those of you who are seeking private consultation after watching this video, please just DM me on Instagram at Matt the Strategist, the word strategize in quotation, and I'll get back to you personally. Don't stress. So I've got everything up in front of me, and you guys probably can see everything up in front of you too. And we're going to start with just going through all 60 plus pages that it's found inside of my Notion documentation, and we're going to have a look at all this data. So we're going to start where it says 2 answers, not 1, right? The picture of growth. Inside my Notion space, I've recorded many things, CSVs from the past, other audits. April 27th master strategy document already named something. March produced over 275,000 views from 86 posts, or 85 posts. I actually know it was 86 because I did one more on trials that it didn't count. April produced 72K from 137, and the current 30-day window, or 21-day window more specifically, confirms everything that I've been working towards. Instagram is just this engine, to be honest with you, and it's not like it's broken, and it has broken for me in the past 2 months, getting lower views with a higher output. It's because I've been testing things. So to be honest with you, I understand things more than I ever have. As we can see here, IG reach per day, we've got some data here. We get 1,600 to 1,200, which is a minus 21.9 decrease in percentage. And that's obviously like looking at the time frame of, the last 60 days, and then also in tight focus in the last 21 days. So IG views per post, I started posting more, getting less views, but the quality changed. So I know that this is directly correlated, right? We've got certain things like YouTube watch times every single day. I've got certain days that stand out, like Saturday, for example, as we know now. And I've got exact routes that I can use to basically leverage those days. Then we've got certain things that stand out on subscribers per day. So as it says here, I'm shrinking on the platform that I over publish on, right? So Instagram, exactly what I expected to happen, because I increased volume of my output and what I post through repurposing YouTube content. It means my content dropped its unique specific kind of lens, and it dropped its unique angles with cinematography, and the quality dropped in a short answer. So the publish problem with getting less views for more posts that you're putting out is directly correlated to quality of the content that I put out. And I can see that I'm shrinking on IG. Well, my growth is shrinking on IG this month because I was testing that. So it's a great kind of surefire, or sure signal that I can return to quality to maintain higher amounts of follower retention, to get my engagement rate up, and everything in between. So I'm compounding on the platform that I under publish on, and that's YouTube, where I spend the time, energy, and effort and sacrifice, and I actually increase the quality. YouTube, where we get neutral, my conversation platform, that's really where the value is coming to me. So where the numbers are coming from, this is all like different baselines pulled from my Notion documentation, from Claude. Contracting, right? I can see that I'm slightly down on contracting. We've got this massive fall in accounts reach from January compared to the end of March, and that's due to how I publish. And everything in between here is literally just showing me that my current data on content is exactly where it needs to be. Like, this data-driven, more quality-driven approach is exactly what the algorithm and the data I'm getting from my posts that have spent time in the algorithm are showing me. So in short, all of this, from expansion to the plateaus that we experienced to moments where I saw things compound, it's all just confirming that we need to spend time on the autobiographical videos that we put out, making sure they're extremely high quality. They show enough story and enough of you for value and information to hold weight. There's so much here, honestly. So over the last 3 months, I've also done some other audits. So it's kind of gone and just captured my audits for me, so I can basically just not miss anything inside of that data. And 3 audits, same finding. It's all showing me the same thing, right? So the audit I did on the 14th of April, right? It first formalized my funnel. It was showing me that my new sequence, if you must, is to achieve a high pull-based kind of interaction on content. So I need high pull-based content that basically leads into a new follow or an automation trigger, because those will lead to inbound DMs being created, and then I can send it to my setter and they can qualify, set appointments, and close from there. Done deal. So my focus areas were setting up those automations and what I needed to, software, and then content. And through content, I've basically found in the past 2 months what content is working as well. So I'm now on top of this high content pull, what I need to post, how I need to post. I've figured that out, and now that sequence is completely clarified. And it's honestly exactly what I'm doing right now. So apart from that, Audit 2, April 23rd, IG and YouTube growth report. First cross-platform growth report that covered 54 days. I established the paying full cost for less than half the result. I established that I was doing too much for too little, basically, on Instagram. And YouTube is already, at that stage, showing compounding signal, and it's hadn't necessarily just become my, complete main platform, but I was leaning into it. So as time's progressed, it's showed me that is the platform. It is the highest compounding platform. It is the best platform to get to know your audience and for them to get to know you. So after that content audits back in 23rd of April, ever since then, even just looking at the whole paying full cost for less than half the result, seeing that I was doing too much for too little, YouTube has been the platform that solved that for me, if you want it in simple wording, right? After this, we've got a content strategy. So on 27th of April, I synthesized a 18-page Notion document, and a couple others actually that were in between. I still remember exist on my Google Drive, but it showed that 5 of my top posts in Jan and in the earlier parts of this year, it showed me what topics, what I was speaking about, everything that was working and what wasn't working. And everything that was working was autobiographical. It was about me, not value, which is what every single one of you growth operators are saying. It's about value, share value. None of it is about value. It's about you and then sharing value. Why would I listen to you if I don't have a connection to you? Come on, guys. It's like you wouldn't work towards a goal if you knew that your motivations were bound by fear and desire, because it means that you're going to ruin your journey to getting to that goal. It's about that intention, that first step, right? So everything was autobiographical. That was the outlying content across my content in those earlier audits that I did, and that I found in my Notion. On the 4th of May, I did another one for someone I personally enjoy their content and their profile funnel setup. I broke down their strategy, basically just found extra, parts of composition about pages being autobiographical, but being someone's unique lens and someone's own world that you step into as a viewer. And that was what that visual strategy breakdown was. And then obviously May 5th, now finishing off, understanding that IG needs high quality content to become a powerful engine for you, and YouTube needs to be the main platform if you're trying to actually build an empire out here, build a personal brand that you can drive traffic and actually convert something at the end of the day, and not fuck up your reputation while doing it. Again, a personal brand that becomes an empire is someone that I will listen to forever, and it's not because of this one thing they have that makes them valuable. It's because of them, the way they see, the way they act, the way they think, every single thing. It's about them. And data from content, from my CRM, and from my Notion documentation has all shown that the focus should be about the entrepreneur at the end of the day. I mean, it's literally saying it's all autobiographical. It should be about you more than anything else. Before that value comes in, before the information bombards you, before you're trying to sell to anyone, go autobiographical. Who the fuck are you before I listen to you? Now, I'm going to finish this video off because the last part of this is me actually just meeting in person with one of my appointment setters, and I'm going to have a bit of a conversation one-on-one with him on what he may be needing or any feedback that he may have on some of the processes that we go about on a day-to-day basis, from, booking appointments to closing deals, everything in between. I'm going to just speak to my appointment setter one-on-one. He is also doing closing for my company, this individual. He's doing a bit of a hybrid, and I want to just get to know everything that they are seeing, opinions, feedback that they may have for me that I can add to this audit. And at the end of this, I've looked at every part of my company that I need to, at the end of the week, to understand if I'm growing or not, if I'm working towards my goals or not, if something is pushing me back, if something is hurting me, if something is hurting me on content, what is working, what is not working. Every single aspect that I need to understand to be able to outsmart that data and do better from that data is right here. And you guys have just watched me do an entire content audit, brand audit, CRM audit on my Notion, every single thing from scratch. And again, this is how I operate as a founder, scaling my venture company at the same time, also being a private consultant for entrepreneurs on social media. So I hope this was a unique video for you guys, and I hope it brings a unique perspective into how someone else does things, how I do things. And I hope you guys can take a lot of this for yourself. So thank you for watching so far. Again, we've just got one more thing for you guys to tap into, and that's going to be a conversation one-on-one with my appointment setter. So let's get to that. And yeah, so far it's going pretty well. So I've got while I'm eating this cookie, I'm gonna finish off the rest of the video. I've got one of my appointment setters and closers next to me. I'm gonna show him the new pipeline. I'm gonna just get some feedback on me as a founder from him, in person. So check it out, bro. Check it out. All vibes. I'm gonna probably order a whiskey at the same time. Thank you so much. Let's do that first. Okay, so come pull in here with me, G.
Sorry, I'm very...
So while he's ordering, explain to you guys what the issue on the back end with the appointment setters has been. For me, it's a software thing. I'm like, for their job, all you guys have to see is conversations. You've got to see my inbox from IG, and it's got to transfer everything when I get inbound DMs, but it's got to make it really easy to track, see data, and then to actually like have those convos and send messages and do everything we need to. So I've been looking at Mochi by Nick Setting. Incredible software. I will actually give it to him. It's insane. It's a very, very powerful software. A little bit pricier than what I've gone for. We've found that DM Tracker basically has per seat about $39 per seat, and it's everything I need for a CRM for my appointment setters. So for this pro to set appointments and then to obviously take closing calls because he's hybrid. A couple of my individuals are hybrid. They do both separately. Now we've got access to everything. I mean, you can see here. So on the side, we've got contacts. So contacts, outreach, follow-ups, pipeline, statistics. So in pipeline, like you can see, I mean, you can see everything here. If I want to drag and drop just like Notion, super easy, you know what I mean? So it will track all unassigned. These are all inbound DMs. So if I get a DM, it pops up here. So it's linked to my ManyChat. Everything comes through API. If I send a message, I can move it over. I moved one over earlier to closed. Like, it works perfectly. You got the follow-ups that come on. Statistics, like if I want to click today, it'll bring up today, you know what I mean? I can do the same with follow-ups and pipelines in the corner here, so I can see outreach sent, in conversation, who's interested, what meetings were booked. Like, you can see the actual funnel and what's happening, which is insane for me and for you guys as the team. All the contacts that come up, again, like every inbound DM I get pops up on here. This is everything from today only. So yeah, now you guys all got access to the same software. There's leaderboards on here as well, which is cool. So you guys can like have an in-house competition almost. Who's closing more, who's booking more, all of that shit.
That's wild.
And then it's super easy regarding like add-ins. I've literally got all the gents on the team just invited, so you guys can start on DM Tracker like tonight, which is pretty cool. So software is finished. Audit is finished in that regard. And then the last thing left here is you messaged me, you left me a bit of a message, but I was going to get some like in-person feedback from you as a member of my team towards me as a founder. So while I head to the bathroom, I'm going to give this to you. Be honest. You don't have to glaze me.
Go for it. So I sent a message stating that overall a diligent and strategic planner, everything done with full intention and execution. As a leader, you only want to see the people in your company or within the company flourish in all divisions, but also expect nothing but the best from all efforts of the team. So as a salesman, you only want to give the best, or prepare for the best outcome and lock in the best clientele, but at the same time, you don't know what it takes to get there. Whereas Matt, he trains you if you need training. With me, I didn't need as much training, but he will train you on the company, he will train you on his clientele. So yeah, you are always going to be appreciative of everything learned within Tika. So yeah, that's my end.